So here's the template for a CD album cover. Now, you've probably had music CDs in the past where if you pulled it out, it's an entire book. There's a link in the Designing for Print site that goes to a site full of all sorts of different templates. You can check that out if you want something more complicated, but this is all I'm going to show you how to do as a front and back one. This is really easy because you print it on one side, you cut it out, and you fold it in half. Explaining this template, the blue is the safe area. You need to keep all of your text within the blue area. The black solid line is the trim line, also indicated by the trim marks or the tick marks. The pink area is the bleed, so the ink needs to extend out to the pink area in order that when you trim there won't be any white along the edges. And the dotted line indicates where it will be folding. So to work with this template, follow these steps for me. So what you're going to do first is create a group folder, and you do that by going to your layers panel, clicking the little flyout and choosing new group. We want to only have ink going out as far as the bleed, so there's no point in wasting a lot of ink with graphics that overlap the rest of the page. To do that, grab your marquee, rectangle marquee selector, and make sure that it's not feathered or anything, and then click and drag to select that entire outside pink line area. Once you have your selection made and your layers, make sure you're on that group folder and then click the new layer mask, which will apply that selection as a layer mask to that folder. So now when we create a new layer by clicking the new layer button, that goes inside the folder and that layer mask is applied to every layer in this folder. So if I picked a color, I can show you that when I fill a layer with color, that layer shows in my thumbnails that it's filled the complete document, but all that's showing out here is everything that was inside of that layer mask. This is really handy to have, especially if you paste graphics in. In fact, let me open a graphic just really quickly and I can show you. So here I have a graphic I'm going to copy and then paste it, and if I happen to paste things outside of my folder, so if a graphic comes in like that, all I have to do is grab that layer and move it inside that folder, and now I have that graphic that just disappeared, and it won't show up around the edges. I can change it to whatever color I want, and it will be nicely trimmed away. So this is a really good way to work to save ink and to keep things tidy. Now there's a problem though. I can't see any of my guidelines. I can't see the folded line. I can't see where my safe text area is. I can't even see my trim line. So I need to be able to see those while I'm designing. The way to do that is to click on the background layer that has the template on it, make a copy, direct copy you can do by Command J to jump the layer up, and then move it up to the top of your layers in your layers panel. And set the blend mode to multiply. Multiply, where are you? Multiply, there it is. And then click the little lock icon, which will make it so that you don't accidentally move this. And then you can turn it off and on as you need to see where things need to go on your design. Once you have your design completely finished and you want to print it, turn that template layer off. You don't want to print those lines on top of your artwork. Once it's printed, to trim, you would take a ruler, and I'm just going to quick make a little visual aid for our ruler, and use a sharp X-Acto knife or razor blade or some sort of trimming tool. Put the blade right on top of the first tick, move the ruler right up to the edge of it and line it up with the other tick mark, and then use a, when you cut, don't cut from the very top of the paper to the very bottom paper, because it will make those other tick marks just fall away and you need them to trim the rest of your project. So only cut from the top of this tick mark down to about the bottom of that tick mark. And then you can rotate your ruler and do it to the other sides. And if you do that, you'll be able to cut out all four sides using your trim marks. Make sure that your blade is nice and sharp. If it's not, it will drag and tear and make the edge of this really, really untidy. And that's how you would use this template.